Alright guys, so now that we're done with the map thingy, what I'm thinking is I can close this and we can revisit the, I guess, the non-admin portion or the guest portion where the users can search for a parking location and see a nice list. So we started off with this form and now is a good time to actually complete it. So here I am under the guest folder, and then here's the page. So here's the search component that we build. And then if I click here, then here's the search form. I can click in here. Let me close this. Okay. So as you can see now, the form currently just put stuff out to the console. So we need to fix this. So a couple of things we need to do first is let's do this date thingy. We want to have a nice calendar, and same here. So if we come here, let's see, you see how it's an input field, so let's change that. So first thing we will do is I'll come here to my components, and I think we will build a date input fields and we can just reuse it. So I'll come here and I'll create a new file, and then we will call it date select or date input, whatever you want to call it, and like that. So let me close this here and we'll call it date select, like that. All right, so that's that. And then what I will do is I'll come here and I'll do const disable. So let's say there are some dates you want to disable. For example, you don't want to be people picking dates in the past. So we're going to be passing that. So we'll do params.disable, we'll say dates. Okay, so if we have them, then we basically just go through them, and date is less than. Okay, sub. So what is sub now? So sub is going to come from, let me see if we install that. We probably didn't. So we should install the date FNS. So if I come here, go to my package.json, let's see if we have the date FNS library. It's a very powerful library. No, we don't. So why don't we install it? So I can come here and I can say npm. Let's clear this. You can say install date FNS, like that. Okay, so that should be added. So I can close this and then I can close this. I'm gonna minimize, and now let's try it. If I do sub, then let's do sub. Okay, so it's not coming in, so we can just add it ourselves. So what we can do, we can say import, and I can do sub, okay, from, and we'll see date FNS, like that. So then I can do sub, and I can do new date, and then also I'll do days 1. Okay, so sub is for subtract, in case you're wondering. Otherwise, we'll do empty array. So now what's params? Well, it's asking we need to pass in the params. So params is going to be prop types or prop type, like that. What's prop type? We can define that up here. So I can do type prop type is equal to, and I'm going to do field, and it's going to be a controller field controller render props. So let's see, controller render props, like that, and there's going to be any, and then we need to do the disable. So I'm going to take this one and we will do like that, disable dates. Okay, and it's going to be boolean, like that. Okay, so if we have this, we want to disable dates on the calendar, then we pass in this, and then we disable all the dates from day from before, from today, let's say, whatever date that is. Okay, anyway, so we have that, and then what we need is we can get rid of this, and then I can do pop over. Okay, so now we don't have pop over, so we need to go to shared cn UI. Okay, and we're gonna go to components, and then let's find pop over. So that's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to copy this npm. You guys know the drill by now, so we will come here and install it. Okay, shared cn. Okay, what the heck? Okay, I hope we didn't break anything. Anyway, so let's go over and see what happens. So pop over, and then we're gonna do this one, and then there we have it. Okay, and then we need a pop over trigger. So pop over trigger like that. Okay, and we're gonna do as child. Okay, and then I need a form control. So that's coming from UI form, and then I need a button from UI button. Okay, and then I'm going to close it like this. So what we need is a nice like calendar kind of button. Okay, so I'll come here and I'll say variant. Variant is going to be outline like that, and then I'm going to give it some class name, and then we will use our cn util like this. So, and then we will come here and what I will do is I'm not going to type these. It's just a couple of class names. And what I'll do is this: so padding left, text left, and font normal. And then once we have that, then what I can do is I can say not params dot field dot value, and then I will say text. We're just going to mute it, right? If it's disabled the values, then we just mute it. So I will do that. Okay, like that. So that's for the class names. Okay, what I'll do is I'm going to put this here, and then we're gonna come here, and then I'll do params. I think I can just take this one, params field value, and like that. And if it's available, I mean if it's true, then what I can do is I can say format. Format is coming from our, let's see here. So I'm going to do format like that, and then I will do format, and then I'm going to pass this value. Okay, and then I'm going to format it like that. And otherwise, if we don't have this, then what we do is we're just gonna do span, and we'll say pick a date like that. Okay, so now this one is, let's see, why is this not okay? We need to close this one. Let me see if I okay, so this one should be like that. Okay, and then what we can do is I can say calendar. We can say calendar icon from Lucid, and we're just gonna give it a class name. And let me just close this. And the class name for this one is simply just going to be like this. So I'm going to save this. Okay, so we have that, and then so that's the pop over trigger. And then after the pop over trigger, you want to do the pop over content. So I'm going to do pop over content like that. And then in the pop over content, we are going to put the calendar. Okay, so this is coming from Lucid React. So the calendar is coming from our here. So let's see if I go to components, and let's close this. I don't want to open the DB. If we check our, okay, do we have a calendar? We don't have a calendar. Okay, so we need to come here and let's see, where's the calendar here? Okay, so from Shatsian, and I'm going to copy this, and then we will come here and install it. So basically just doing this command. Okay, okay, so basically what it's saying is we already have date FNS. So you know what I will do is I'm going to, I guess, okay, I don't know why this guy is coming in the way. And yeah, there you go. So what I can do is I can uninstall date FNS. Okay, we're gonna reinstall calendar. Okay, button.tsx exists, no, don't overwrite it. Okay, cool. So it looks like that probably added the calendar. Do I need to do a refresh? No. Okay, it's under UI. Let's see. Yeah, so there's calendar. So this brings in the date FNS, by the way. So yeah, we installed it before, but we didn't have to. Anyway, so I can now come here and let's see calendar. And will it bring it from UI? No, actually it won't. So we need to bring it ourselves. So what I will do is I'm going to come here and I'll say import and I'll say calendar. Okay, and then I'll say from at components UI, and then we'll say calendar like that. Okay, and then if we come here, we have calendar. Okay, so what we need is first close this off, and then I can do mode should be single, so we want to just select single dates, and then selected is going to be params.field.value like that, and then on select, once somebody selects a date, we're going to do dot field dot on change, we call that. Okay, and then disabled, okay, is equal to be disabled, and finally initial focus. Okay, so that's it. That's the field we're going to use here. Okay, so we have this. Let's see, and then I can close this, and let's see if we can use it. So I can go back to the, let's see, so in the search form, so if I come here, search form, let me click in, let's close this. Okay, and let's see, arriving on, yes, so it should be this one. So what I will do is I can just get rid of this, and then I can do date input. All these pop-ups are so annoying. Okay, so that's that field. I'm going to say field, and then disable dates, I'm going to do true. Okay, save it. Let's see, refresh it. Okay, there you go. So if I click here now, okay, we have a problem here, and the problem is, let's see, let's come here, is the pop over is transparent for some reason. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to the date select, and yeah, you see this always the problem. So it's bringing it from Radix UI. It should come from pop over or Shatcn. So I'll come here and paste it here. You can delete this one, and let's save it. Perfect. There you go. So now let me refresh. And if we come here, then this is coming correct. And you can see the dates before today is or are grayed out, and that's why that's when the disable field is coming into play. Anyway, so now what we need to do, so let me just do this, is this thing is in the center. I think we should fix this. So how about we give this a class name? So I can say class name, and I can do width dash auto, okay, and then padding dash 0 like that, so nice and tight. And then what I will do is I will do align, and I'll do start. Let's see what that does for us. Okay, so that's not bad. So let's see. Perfect. So there you go. So I can select date, and I can select previous date. So beautiful. That's looking good. All right, so what we need to do then is also do the time. So for that, we need to create a special kind of a component. And if we come here, so this is our date select, and this one is right here, arriving on. So for that, what we will do is we will come here and under the components, so not under UI, but just under components. And well, okay, I'll create a new file, and I'm going to call it time select.tsx. Okay, and then let's just do this, and then we will do time select like that. Okay, so we need to pass this some props. So what I will do is I'll say props, and I will do props prop type. or you can props type, whatever you want to call it. So now we need to define this prop type. So what I will do is I will copy this and I'll paste this, and we will do this. Of course, you need to do the equal sign. So what it's going to take is on change, every time the value changes, it's going to be a string, and it's going to return a void. Okay, and then the other thing we need is a default value. It's going to be a string or undefined. And then we also need a disable time. So this will be used. So let's say you select a time, start time of 9 a.m. So anything before that we want to disable on the arriving or the end field. I think why are we calling them the same? This should be leaving on. Anyways, we'll fix that. So let's see. Yeah, so what we need to do is I'm going to go back here and leaving on. Let's save it. There you go. So what I was saying is this disable time. So let's say I select here 9 a.m. So on here, I shouldn't be able to select anything before that. That's what I meant. So let's start here. And what I will do is I'll say const disable, and I'll say time. It's going to be of type date. And then I'll do a new date. Okay, and this is going to be 2000. I'm just going to start from this. And then 01. So I'm just giving it a time format. And then it's going to be props dot disable time. When we actually pass the values, you will see what this is, and I will also just give it the seconds like that. Okay, so let's go to the end here. I'm gonna bring this on a new line so we can see what's going on. Okay, then what I will do is I will get rid of this, and let's do a select. It looks like we don't have select from GeoJSON. So if I come here to UI, do we have a select? No. Okay, so let's go to GeoJSON, and then we're gonna find select. I'll copy this, npm, same deal, come here, paste it, install. Yes. I don't know why I keep asking this. How come there's no? It's just yes. That's funny. Anyways, so here I have select and UI select. Make sure to select the right one. And let's close this. Okay, so I have select, and then what I will do is I'm going to say on value change. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say props dot on change. Okay, and then we're going to give it a value, and it's going to be props dot default value. Cool, so that's that. And then we need a form control, so from UI form, and then we need a select trigger. I think it brought it from the wrong place. Select trigger, yep, that's the one. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll say select value. Okay, so it's going to be this one, and placeholder, it's going to be something like this. So it's going to be a p tag. Okay, p tag, class name. How about I do this? Okay, and then it is going to be text dash muted dash foreground. Okay, and then we're gonna do select a time like that. By the way, this select value is self-closing, so I can do this. Okay, and then after that, it's gonna be under the select trigger, so I need to come here. Let me scroll here up, and then I need to come here, and then we need to now create the select control. Sorry, select content. So it's this one. So by the way, the example is here. If you just want to follow, it's this one. And then what I'll do is I will come here. So now we need to create a function where we can get the time slots, right? So what we can do is we can go to our utils. Let's close this one, and this is all the functions we added before. We'll just come to the end, and I'll do export const. We'll say get time slots, and I will do a start time. Okay, and it's going to be, let's say, midnight, and then I'm going to do end time, and it's going to be, let's say, 23:45, like that. Okay, and then we need a return type. Okay, we'll fix that. It's going to be an array. like that. So now what's return type? Well, I'm gonna do like this: export const return type. Okay, and it's going to be basically time string, and then it's going to be display string, right? Like that. Okay, it should be type, like so. Okay, yeah, it's just complaining because we need to return something. Let me scroll up and fix this. So what I will do is I will do const time array, okay, of type return type, and make it an empty array. Let's for now just return type time array. Okay, so that will hopefully get rid of the error. Why is it still? Yes, this should be a function. Cool, so that's good. So all the errors are gone. How about I maximize this a bit? Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to do something like const. We can say parsed, okay, start time, okay, of type date, okay, and then we'll say new date. Okay, so it's going to be the same kind of deal that we did here. Let me just copy this. I'm gonna go back here and let me just do like this, but instead of this I'm gonna do start time. Okay, then I'll copy this line and I'll paste it, and for this one I'll say parsed end time, and then we will say end time, like that. Okay, came twice. Okay, so we get the start time and then the end time, right? And then what we do is, so these are like setting up the base times. Okay, and then what we do is we say current time, okay, which is of type date, is equal to parsed start time. So you start with this, and then we do while current time is less than or equal to parsed end time, as long as we haven't reached the end time. So what you do is you do this: const hours is equal to current time dot get hours dot to string. Okay, and then we do pad start, and then you do 2. So we're just kind of doing a nice padding. So let's say if you have a 9 o'clock, so instead of 9 we will do 09, like that. Okay, and then we do const minutes is equal to current time, and we will do get minutes. Okay, and then we'll do to string, and then the same thing, pad start, okay, 2 and then 0. Okay, and then finally we need to do AM PM, and that should be equal to current time dot get hours. Okay, if it is less than 12, okay, then it's AM, otherwise it's PM. Okay, and then const time. So now we need to put this into a string so we can display it. So time string should be equal to, I'm going to do the ticks. So I'm going to do hours, okay, then minutes, okay, and then finally AM PM. It's going to look very good actually, you guys will see. And finally you're going to do time array dot push, and then we're going to do, remember what the format was. So time will be hours, okay, and then it's going to be minutes. So this one is in case we need to pass this to a time function, so we can use it for, let's say, sending it to the backend or composing a time, like a JavaScript date time, and then the display is what we will show to the user, right? So you always want to have one for the user and one where you can manipulate it. And now finally, then what you will do is you'll say current time dot set minutes, okay, and then we'll do current time dot get minutes, okay, and then I'm gonna add 30 minutes, like that. Cool, so that's this. I'm gonna save it, and then what we can do is I can come here and I can say get minutes. So we're gonna bring that map, we're gonna map over all of them, and then you're gonna do time, and then what we can do is we can say new date, Okay. Why is it? Okay, so it came from date FNS. Again, that's wrong. I want to bring it from utils. Oh, not get minutes, get time slot. That's what I meant. Yeah, there you go. So let's do this again. Get, let me scroll up. Get time slots. Okay, yeah, we need to pass in the start time and the end time, but we're not going to pass it because we already have a default dot map time. Okay, like that. So what I'll do is I'll say new date, and then what I'll do, I'm going to copy this. I should probably make a function out of this because we're using it so much, but what the heck. And then what I'll do is I'll say time dot time. So that's why we were doing the time. And then if it is less than or equal to disable time, then we will do select item, this one. Okay, disabled. Okay, key will be equal to time dot time because this will be unique, so we can use it. And then value is equal to time dot time. Okay, and finally here you'll do display. So this is what the user will see. Let me see if I can just, whoop, I thought you could just duplicate it easily. Yeah, that's the one. So then I can, if it's a ternary, so we're going to remove the disabled and just time.time value and blah, blah, blah. So I think I can save it. And now we can actually use it. So let's close this and we can use it here. Let's see, arriving on. I'm going to get rid of all of this and then we can do time select. That's the one we just created. I'm going to do field dot on change, not blur, change. Okay, and default value will be field dot value. Let's see, I'm going to save it. Okay, so let's see what we have cooked. Oh wow, look at this. How cool is this? So we have from, see, every 30 minutes we have 30-minute increments, and oh, let's do one for the leaving on. So I'm gonna come here. I think we can just do this. And the one thing I will do for this one is, let's see. So we need to do that disable thingy. Yeah, disable time. So what I'll do, I'll say form.get values. Okay, and we're going to do arriving time, like that. Is it arriving time or arriving on? I think arriving time. Yeah, so arriving on is the date, and then this is the time. Kind of confusing, but what the heck. Anyway, so that's that, and let's save it. Okay, so now both have time. So let's see if I select 2:30 a.m. Aha, you see I can select before. That's pretty cool actually. Okay, so what if I select 1 a.m. Okay, so you can see there's a problem. When it's not updating, so we need to create some sort of a watch to take care of this. Let's see, do we have a watch? We don't, so let's do that. Okay, so what you can do for that is you can come here, and what you can do is you can do like this: const arriving time, right? Use watch, it's a React hooked, and then what we can do, we can give it a control, and we're going to do form.control. What? Form.control, this one, and then the name of that will be arriving time, like this. So we're going to watch this, and with this we're going to do the changes. And then what we can also do is we can create a use effect hook. Okay, and then what we will do is we'll say arriving time when this changes, or if the form, then what you do is if arriving time, right, then form dot reset, we're going to reset field, and I'm going to do a leaving time. Whoop, leaving time. Okay, so if this changes, basically the arriving time, reset the other one. So that's that. So let's try it and see what happens. So let's say I'm going to select 2:30, so everything disabled. But let's say now I come in here and I'm going to select, say 12:30 p.m. and there you go. So now it resets this. I'm going to select this. So watch, when I select 10 a.m. it resets this. So, and then it basically, now everything before 10:30 is, sorry, 10 a.m. is disabled. We can select it. So pretty nice, I must say. And while we are here, let's also just, you know what, let's split the data and see what we get. So let's inspect this. Let's do console. We got a lot of stuff here. So let's say I'm going to do, I don't know, Spadina. Oh, actually, we haven't hooked this up yet, so we need to fix that. So I'm going to do test, and I'm going to do 28, and I'm going to select, let's say, parking from 8 a.m. to 9. So let's say 1 hour, submit. Okay, so if we come here, we created this form. Let's see. The address is outside of the form because it's going to be the other field. Oh, by the way, so this is a date and this is a string because at that time when we initially created it, it was a string at that time because we didn't have the component, and that's why it's seeing the arriving on. Okay, that makes sense. And then you know what? I don't need these. I want to get rid of this. I'm gonna save it and then let's see what happens. Boom, there you go. That works. So arriving on the date is 28 and then the time is 8 to 9. Perfect, that's beautiful. Let's add this address as well. So I'm thinking the way we're gonna do this is when we let's see, so when we select the address, at that time we're going to select fill in the form field. So maybe we should add these fields now. So what I can do is I can say address, it's going to be z.string like that. So that's going to be this. And then we added these in the beginning. So now is a good time to use them. So GPS codes will be an object. We have a lat and long. Okay. And then what we can do here is we need to create a function. We're going to do const handle address select like that. It's going to take the address as a string and GPS codes, and it's going to be lat launch like that. Okay, and then what we will do is we will just do form.setValue, and it's going to be address, and that's going to be set to the address like that. And then I think I can copy this, and this will be called GPS codes, and then this is going to be GPS codes like this. Okay, so then that means we need to now come here and change this. And so we already have the label, we don't need to change that, but what I'll do is I'll get rid of this, and we're going to do the address autocomplete that we created input, and I'm going to do on address select. We're just going to call this, and selected address, it will be empty. I love it when you create these components and just reuse them. So let's save it, and let's do a refresh. Let's minimize this. So let's say now this is that Google address select field, and I'm gonna do, okay, so there you go. So now you can see things are coming. How about I do 32 Spadina, whatever, Spring, whatever that road is, and then let's see if I do, let's say 28, and then I'm gonna be there 6 a.m. and then let's say I'm parking for 4 hours, submit. Beautiful. So as you can see, now we have the address, okay, then we're getting the GPS wow, we're getting the GPS coordinates, and we're getting the time and the date, everything. So this is all we need now to display a list of addresses for the user, and yeah, to display it. So actually what we can do is I'm going to come here to the submit, and let's take care of that. So we can come here, and then I can do we can add some checks here, but what I will do, I'll say data is equal to form data, and then arriving, I'm going to call arriving on, and I'm going to do format. So this format is coming from datefns. So let's see, do we have datefns here? I thought we did, maybe not. So I'm going to do import format from datefns like so, and then I'm going to do format and form data dot arriving on. Okay, and then we're going to just switch it to this format: year, month, day, and then we're going to call on search. Now you must be thinking, well, what is on search? Well, we're going to create that. So I can come here and let's see right here. What we will do is we'll say on search, and then we just need to define it on search. Okay, it's going to be data any and just void. Okay, so if I do that, there you go. So that works. Just need to do this. And so I'm going to save this. So now, of course, it's going to complain here that, hey, what the heck is that? So how about we do on search? I'm going to do handle search. Okay. Or how about handle search done? So then I'm going to copy this, and then I can come here and I can do const handle search done, and then I'm going to do params. Okay, search params. And how about for now, let's just do params like that. Okay, so we need to now specify what search params are. So search params will be export type params, and we will do like this. And this is basically the address, the GPS codes, whatever that we had from the previous one. So how about this? That we just passed in. So I'm gonna do this, save it. Let's save it, and let's see if it's gonna now get printed in this component. So that means it's making all the way here. So how about I clear this and let's submit it. Okay, so it's search component on line 18. That's perfect. So it's making it all the way here, and as you can see, the arriving on, that's why we did that format. So it's in a nice format, so we can use it when we do our lookups, and we have the GPS codes and all. So now we're going to do a search here. Okay, and so for that we need to start adding a couple of states, and I will start with, say, search. Okay, and okay, let's see, const, and I'm going to do search, and then I'm going to do set search. Okay, and then I'm going to do use state from React, and then it's going to be a map params like that, and then it's going to be initialized to an empty array like this. So this will be the search results that we get from the map. And then we also need to define a search radius and set search radius. Okay, and then I'll just set this to use state. So let's say 500 meters. And then also I will do a message, set message, and it's going to be use state. And then for now we'll just enter address, date, time, and click search. And then finally we're gonna do search params, set search params, and this will be equal to use state. Okay, and this will be search params, okay, or undefined like that. Cool, so we have these. So let's save it, let's refresh, make sure there's no errors, and there's no errors. All right, so then once we have that done, so now we're gonna come over here and focus on this search done function. So I'm gonna leave the console for now, the log, so we can see we're hitting this. So initially I'm going to do set message, and then what I will do is I'll say searching. So now you must be asking, well, where are we using this? So we can use this here. I can come here. So I can say search dot length is greater than 0. Then we're just going to say result. Okay, otherwise let's just do the message for now and see what happens. So as you can see, we're getting this message: enter an address, date, time, and click search. To this one I will also add just a class, so it's just text center, just some padding, and then the yeah, make it look pretty like this, right? This looks better. So if I go mobile, looks like this, and then this is how it is on this screen. So it's just for that. So now we're going to then focus on displaying the search results. So right, so I'll come here, and what I'll do, I'll say set search, and let's just initialize it to an empty array. And then what I will do, I'll say search result. So we're going to do await, and we're going to find nearby locations. Now you must be asking, what is this? Well, we're going to define this. So we want to find it within the search radius, and we're going to pass in params as search params, like that. Okay. So search params are this one. So now what is this? Well, we're going to define this, but first what we need to do is we need to come here and make this async. So it's going to get rid of this, and then we can go over here and into, let's minimize this, and we have action, so we can define this here. Okay, so we're just gonna just keep adding them to the end. So we can do export async function, and we're going to define nearby locations, like that. And then I'm going to do max distance, and it's going to be a number, and then search params. Let me close this, and then it's going to be search params. That's coming from there, and let's do this. Okay, let me save this, and let's go back here and just make sure we can bring it here. So yes, so that gets rid of that. Okay, I think I should go here. We do is, let's start with a try catch. Okay, and let's just do console.log error for now. And then also what I think I need to do, this, and also let's just do throw error, right? Something bad happened. Anyways, what I will do is I'm going to do await connect to DB. So let's connect to our database first, and then what we can do is we can do the start time. Okay, and I'm going to do new date, and then I'm going to do const end time new date, like that. And then what this will be is I'm going to do the interpolation, and I'm going to do search params dot arriving on, and then we're going to do t, and then search params dot arriving time. Okay, and then same thing, you know what I'll do, I'll copy this, and then we will do here, and then this will be also arriving on, but this is going to be leaving time. Okay, so now that we have start and end, then what we can do, we can say parking locations. I wanna be small p. Parking locations is of type parking location. It's an array because we're gonna get a whole list of locations, and we're gonna do parking location model dot find. Okay, and then we're gonna do location, right? And then, so remember we did the GeoJSON, so now it's going to be helpful. We're going to do near sphere, and we're going to do geometry, and then you do type, it's going to be point. Okay, and then coordinates, coordinates, man, all these pop-ups. Coordinates is going to be search params.gps course.longitude, and then search params.gps course.latitude. So it goes the reverse way. It's not, usually it's latitude, longitude. This is the other way around. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on next line so we can see what's going on. And let me scroll up, and then also I'll do max distance. Okay, and that's going to be max distance. Now this is in meters, just so that you guys know. Okay, so this is going to return us the partner locations for the this distance close to this location, I guess. Okay, and so now that you have that, then what we will do in the end is we're going to do lean. So lean means remove all the other stuff and just return us clean data. Okay, so then what we do is we go through all locations and find the bookings for it. So if, for example, you want to see how many bookings you have for a location, or if it's like if it's all booked, like the idea is to find if there's any spots available or not. That's the whole idea. Okay, so I'm going to do const and I'm going to do available locations. Okay, is equal to await, and we're going to throw this in a promise.all. Okay, and then we're going to do partner locations.map async. Okay, and it's going to be a location, it's going to be a parking location. And let me put this on next line so you can see what's going on. And then what I will do is I will do something like this. Okay, and then we can do const bookings is equal to await booking model, and we're going to find, okay, why is it not bringing booking model? Let's see, booking. Okay, so let's go and see what's going on. So if I go to our schemas, do we have a booking model? Okay, so we only have partner locations. So how about we come here and we're going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it booking.ts, like that. And then what we will do is I'm going to do export interface, and let's just call it booking and extends document. Okay, and we're going to do this. So now where does document come from? Well, first of all, we're going to do mongoose. Okay, from mongoose, so that's coming. And then we need document, and we also need schema. We're going to be using it, so I'm just going to bring it in. And then we need models like this. All right, cool. So you have this. So I'm going to copy this from my notes because it's just a interface, right? So location ID, at what location it is booking, the user ID who booked it, the date, the time, and the time offset. So let's say you want to do this internationally, globally, you can do the time offset to calculate the correct time, and then the amount, the phone number, and all those things. Okay, and Stripe session ID when we do the payment, so that's for that. Okay, and then what I can do is I can do const. Okay, and then I can do booking schema, and that's going to be new schema, and then it's going to be booking, and then we do like this. So now location ID, that's going to be type, okay, of mongoose dot types dot object ID, and ref is going to be parking location. So it's basically like a foreign key, if you know a SQL. So that's what it is, like a foreign key, and we're saying for what location. So we reference it by the ID, and default will be null. And for the others, I don't need to, I guess, type it. All we are doing is just repeating this user ID and just giving them the their what type they are. And then I have the status, okay, and the status gonna be of type string, okay, and then we have a default value, so that's gonna be booking. We don't have a status, so we'll create that pending. Okay, so let's go to our, I guess, types, and we have types here. I'm just gonna go here and I'm gonna do export, and I'm going to do enum, and we're going to do booking status, and we have three kind of statuses, and then we have a cancel, so somebody canceled the booking, booked, and pending. So let's say when you initially book the place, it's going to be pending payment, right? So you don't want to just give it to the person. You want to wait for them to pay first. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to where I was. I think it's this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna do booking status, yeah. And finally, we need the Stripe session ID. It's going to be a string. And what I will also do is I will do timestamps. Timestamps. I'm gonna set this to true. And in the end, don't forget to do export const booking model, and we'll go models.booking. Okay, give me this, or just give me a new one, and just the schema will be booking schema, like that. So let's save it, and I'm gonna close this, and we're gonna go back to let's see, what file is index.ts. I'm gonna close this one. So there we go. So we were here, and let's see if we can do booking model. Yes, now it's coming. So in the bookings, just find me a booking where the location ID is location, and then it's going to be dot ID, like that. And then I'm going to close this, and then status is booking status dot booked, and then start time is, we're going to do less than, we're going to do end time, and then the end time is greater than start time, like that. And we're going to lean this out like so. All right, and then what I can do is, after this is done, then I can come here and I can say if bookings dot length is less than location dot number of spots. Okay, so that means if we have, let's say, 5 spots and the booking length is 3, that means we have 2 spots available, right? So then we can do return location, and then we say we're just doing a spread. We're going to book spots, and we're going to do bookings dot length. Okay, and else we do return, we're going to do location, and we're going to do booked spots. We're going to do bookings dot length, and we're going to do a status. Okay, parking location status. I think I should bring this on a new line so we can see, or let me just close this like that. So that means this place is just full and there's no more spots. And then finally, once you're done with all this, then we're going to do return json.parse json.stringify, and then I'm going to do available locations. Cool. All right, so let's see. So if everything went well, and if I come here now, sorry, where were we? If I come here now, and if we get something, we should be able to find, let's do console.log search result. Okay, I'm going to save it. So when we search for something, it should now print the search results, right? If it found something, some location. So let's try that. So let's come here, and so first of all, let me maximize this, and it's going to be exciting. What I will do is, let me go here to admin first. And as you can see, we have these locations, right? So remember, we have 32 Spadina Avenue and 35 Spadina Avenue. So let's see if we can find a location near these 2 spots. And let's see if it's going to return us, these 2. We're going to find, let's say, 36 Spadina or 37 Spadina. So I'm going to go back, and let's see. So 36 Spadina, and I'm going to do Avenue Toronto. Okay, And so right now the date doesn't matter because we haven't booked anything, but I'm just going to pick 28. I think time also doesn't matter. 5 a.m. Let's hit search. Okay, and we got error. So let's see what's going on. Let's hit this and let's see. So geo near find location da 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 da. I think one thing you have to do is when you want to do this finding locations or the near whatever query you're doing, you need to do something called indexing. And the way you do this is if I come to my MongoDB, so you have to find your field that's in the GeoJSON format. So which location for us, right? So then what I can do is I can go to index. You're gonna go here, and we're gonna create index. And let me just show you how you will find this. So if you want to do CLI, you can follow the CLI, but I'm just doing the UI. And then here they're saying basically click the indexes tab. That's what we did. Create index. That's what we did. So the field is the field we want to, I guess, do the index on. So I'm going to delete this one. So the field we know is called location, but like what do we put in the type? Okay, so index options, and so this is how you would create an index. So let's see, is there an index for a geo something? Let's search for the word geo. Okay, let's see, geo 2D geospatial indexes, 2D sphere. Okay, here, so this is what it is. For GeoJSON objects, yes, you would use the 2D sphere. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to paste it here. We're going to do review and yeah, confirm this. And there you go. So now the index has been added, and we can go back here and then let's refresh this. Okay, let's do search. So remember, we had two locations. I'm going to do 37 Spadina Avenue, Toronto, and I'm going to pick whatever date, doesn't matter because we don't have any bookings yet. And let's search. There you go. So this is the address that we picked, and let's see what are close to this one. So 35 Spadina and 32 Spadina are within range. So let's go back to the search component, and we know we're getting the search results. Let me close this, and then we can focus on this. So I don't need this anymore because we know we're getting the search results. But what I will do is I'm going to do const map params, because now we need to prepare this for the map so we can show this on the map. And this is the exciting part. So we're going to do map params small m. It's going to be map params, and it's going to be an array, and then we're going to do search result dot map, go over the search results, and then I'm going to do location, and let's just go do parking location like that, and let's do like this. Okay, and then for this one I'm just going to get it from my notes. Don't need to type it because it's just setting the address, setting the price, and then the booking spots. Whatever we got from that action, we're just filling that in here. The only thing we need is map address type. So I think we already did that when we were making the map. Okay, so I have that, and then after that we'll see if map params dot length is greater than 0. Okay, and then what we do, we say map params dot unshift. Okay, so while we're doing this unshift, we insert the destination at the very start, right? Because it's used by the map to create a different pin. So that's why we just put it at the top. And then we do address. So it's going to be params dot address as string. So again, I will get this from my notes. Don't need to type it, but we're just getting the GPS codes. the type, because this is the destination, right? So that's why we're just giving it a specific type and that. And then once we're done with this, then we do set search, okay? And then we just spread the map params on it, and then set search params, okay? We say params like that. And otherwise, if let's say nothing came out of this, then we do set message. We say no nearby parking locations found, like that. So we just tell the user that we couldn't find any parking locations. So actually this should work. So if I, for example, come in as 40 King Street for this date, if I do search, no nearby parking locations found. So there you go. So that's working. And now we can start displaying the results. So finally we can see some action. Okay, so what I will do for this is I'm going to do a flex class. Okay, then we create another div with padding -1, flex of none, width of 56, like that. I think I should also give it overflow of auto and a height of 600 pixel, like that. Okay, so that will be that. Then within this we need to put in the search results, okay, and then also after this div we need to create the map, and we just wanted to take the rest of the space. So for this I'm going to do map, okay, so that's the map that we built, and then I'm going to do map params, and it's going to be JSON.stringify, and let's just give it a search. Okay, let's close it off. So if we did everything right, let's see if we can find, so we were 32 and 35, I think, Spadina. So let's say I'm going to find, I want to find a parking location near 37 Spadina, or sorry, I'm going to, let's say 37 Spadina, so I want to see parking locations close to it. Then this is my time, let's say search. Wow, look at this. So you can see the search radius, and as you can see the red one, that's why we did that, that's our destination, and this is 35 Spadina, and this is 32 Spadina, and then this is the red one is where our destination is. So pretty cool, I must say. Let's find something. Let's see, can we find something on Front Street maybe? Let's see something far. How about 56 Spadina? Search. Okay, it's still within our range. And how about 96 Spadina, Toronto? Okay, so that's your 96. So as you can see, that's here, and these are the two close spots. So yeah, I'm liking this. How about 45 King? Let's see, I don't know where 45 King Street thing is, but King Street West. Well, why Kitchener? I don't know. King Street West, Toronto. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's not close to it, so that's why it can find it. But you get the idea. So now the map is coming. One thing we then do need is we need to, let me just bring the map up. Spadina Avenue. Okay, so one thing, what I was saying is, so now we have the parking panes, we have our locations. One thing we need to do is we need to show the results here on the side also, and then from there we can actually do the booking, right? And by the way, the green circle is the radius, so that's for that in case you didn't know. So let's now display that. So how about we bring this here, our beautiful UI, and let's focus on this. Okay, so let's come over here to components, and Let's create a new file and we are going to call it search result.tsx, and let's just create search result like that. I don't know why. Okay, so let's see what we can do is I'm going to put this here, but let's focus on the parameter that we're going to be passing to this guy. So it's going to be a locations and other params. Okay, and then we can say locations is going to be of type map params of this type. Okay, it's going to be an array, and params, whoa, params will be search params. So search params. Okay, so that's coming from there. Okay, so now that we have that, then I can do this. So what we can do is we're gonna go through the locations and we're gonna do a filter. Okay, and location, and what I want to do is location dot type is equal to map address type dot, and it's going to be parking location, right? So let me close this. Okay, and then once we get those, then we can map over them, and I can get the location and the index. Okay, like that. So let's do this. Okay, do that. And for this, for this I'm going to create a card from UI card, and key will be the location dot address. Okay, because that's going to be unique. And then I need a card header. Okay, and then I need a card title like that. And for this one, I'm just going to do index plus 1 like so. So for the card title, I'm going to give it some class name. So text white, width height, rounded full, and that's basically just basic Tailwind CSS, nothing fancy here. So while we're here, how about we actually use this here? So let me delete. And then what I can do, I can say search results. Okay, locations, I'm going to do search, and then params, I'm going to do search params, and it will be of type search params. Save it, and let's see what we get. So oh, there you go. So we have two locations, that's their index, so we know which one we're talking about, and they're showing up here. So already nice. So let's just expand this and see. Beautiful. All right, so now we are going to display the rest of the info. So let's get into it right here. Then after the card title, what I have is a card description, and this one I'm going to give it a class name of text-large like that, and font-bold. Okay, and this one will be the get street, what did we call it? Get street from address. Get street from address is the function we did in the beginning in one of the videos, and then that's gonna be that. So I'm gonna save it and let's see what we get. Okay, so the address is coming, the two close by addresses, pretty nice. Okay, and then what we need after the card header is the card content. So I'm going to do card content like that. Let's scroll up. Okay, so what I need is a div. Okay, and I'm going to give it a class name. So just margin bottom is a grid with one column. Everything is shifted to the start. And for the last one, the margin bottom is 0 and padding bottom of 0. So if I see nothing so far because we haven't put any content in it. Okay, and then what I will do inside of it is I'm going to create another div, and we will just do padding bottom of 2 like that, and then within this I'm going to do a grid like this. Okay, and then for this I'm going to do grid columns of 2, so it's going to have 2 columns. Okay, let's save it, and then finally I'm going to do a paragraph text.sm, and then this is going to be the hourly price. So let's save it and see what we get. There you go, that's your hourly price. So far coming along nicely. And then I'm going to do another p tag text.sm, and then inside of this I'm going to do format. We're going to do amount for display, that's the one we created, and we're just going to do, let's say, $10 in Canadian. So let's save it, and there you go. So that's coming up. And then, so I guess what we can do is, let me see. So it's $10. I think we can take the price from, let's see, location dot price dot hourly. Okay, I don't know why it's not. Okay, and I'm gonna save it. So there you go. So one is $15 and one is $45. So that's coming up. And then what we also do is we need to show the number of spots, right? So I'm gonna do another div. It's gonna be a grid again, and grid dash columns dash 2 like that, and then another p text dash sm, and it's gonna be spots available like that. And what I'll do, I'm going to copy this. Let me scroll up and let's just paste it here. And then this one, what we can do, we can say a location dot number of spots, right? And then minus location dot book spots. So that's that. So let's do this, save it. Okay. Okay. And then what we need to do is after this, let's see. After this one, what we can do, we can create a horizontal line like that. So that's that. And then what we can do is we can create a, we need to create a link now where people can click on it and they can actually start their booking process. So I'm going to do, if we have params, okay, then what we can do, we can create a next link like that. And let's just call it book for now. Okay, of course it's asking for the href and all, so we will give it that. So what we can do first of all is I'm going to give it, a class name, and for this one we will use our cn utils. And what we can do, we can say button variants, and then we can do variant, okay, and it's going to be outline, okay, like that. And then what we will also do is bg dash primary and text dash white like that. Okay, so that will be that. And let me do this and bring this on next line, and then we can do, okay, I think something not right with my get rid of this. Let me see what's going on. So we did cn button variants, and then I have this. Okay, I think I should close this so that at least this guy is not complaining. I can do this, and I'm going to do this. Okay, and I'm going to do location dot number of spots minus location dot book spots. So what the thing is, what we're trying to do is, if we don't have any spots, then we're not going to show the booking button. That's the idea. Okay, so it's going to be hidden, otherwise it's going to be flex. Okay, I think I don't need this, and there you go. Okay, and then the other thing is, now we need to go to a separate page where we can actually do the let me come here, it's got to be here, right? href. So yeah, we need to go to, we have to create that, the booking page. So it's going to be book, and then it's going to be location.id. Okay, and then what we want to do is we need to pass in the date for what date we're booking, right? It's going to be params dot arriving on. So that's that. Okay, so if I save this now, there you go. So we have the booking button, and as you can see on the bottom, it says book, and then the location ID, and then for the date, right? And we also need to give it the start and the end time. So don't need to type that. What I can do is I can just tag that along. So I think I can get rid of this. Okay, so it will basically say, let me see, and I can do this. So the whole href, we're passing the start time, the end time. Let me save it and I'll show you guys. So if I go to book, for example, as you can see, I have the start time and the end time and everything. I think you have to bring this on one line, otherwise it's going to, you see how there was that big gap. Okay, let me save it, and if I go back, let's see, there you go. So on the bottom you can see we have the location ID for the location we're booking for, the date, the time, and that's all we need to then start booking this thing. Okay, so this is that. And all right, cool. So as you can see, now we can search the address and it's coming up on the map, and then we're going to continue with the booking payment portion, and then so let's wrap this up.